The money that you think you have is in commercial banks, but a bank deposit is not a legal concept. It's a loan to the bank. And should these banks fail, they have declared that there will not be bailouts, there will be bail-ins, which means that your money will be bailed in insolvency as an asset of the bank. And at best, you'll be given shares of an insolvent bank. If you think that your government can insure you, ask who's insuring the insurers. Only about 1% of this is covered. This cannot proceed. So what can we do? Well, in order to get a central bank digital currency, they're going to need a digital ID first. This is where we say no. They're going to come up with creative ways. It's either going to be in order to access through rations, to access food and fuel, you'll have to have your digital ID, or perhaps subsidies like they did in Iran with bread, that you can buy as much as you want at $150 a loaf. But if you want the subsidy for it to be a reasonable price, you have to get your digital ID. God knows what they'll come up with, but they'll have something creative, and it will be something that you need, that you have to have. Therefore, you have to consent to the digital ID. This is our feet in the street moment. This is where we have to say, no, it's a final hurdle for them before we move into this slave surveillance system. Other than that, what can we do? Well, who do we owe money to? It's the central banks who create money out of nothing. It's the commercial banks who create money out of nothing. The IMF create money out of nothing and loan it to countries and then own the countries. So instead of us being screwed over by the banks, everything's built. So why don't we just get together and screw over the banks and go down the Lincoln Greenback path and create our own monetary system? Why are we ever borrowing monies? Why are governments borrowing monies from banks that created out of nothing? Lincoln figured this out. He died for it. So that's our options. But be careful. If your money's in the bank, it's not your money, it's the bank's money.